Dogpack lied and MrBeast cried. Apparently, I don't know. Soggy Cereal uploaded a video, The Truth About MrBeast and Dogpack404, which apparently proves that Dogpack lied about a bunch of stuff. So if you don't know, this is Dogpack404. He has 2 videos exposing MrBeast, but he actually has a 3rd video right here. So you're saying, how did I pull a 3rd video up if he only has 2? Well, because I'm good like that, but also because he unlisted it. So why would Dogpack make allegations and then unlist a video? As it turns out, he says right here, this was most likely the wrong James Warren. He claimed that James Warren got arrested for domestic abuse, and it was literally the wrong guy. This is why I don't trust Dogpack. So before the video starts, like whether you think MrBeast is right or wrong, he already did lie. Like, he already lied about at least some stuff. So the video's just not did he lie, it's how much did he lie about MrBeast. And you see the creator More Pegasus, he covers MrBeast a lot. MrBeast is finally caught. Down here, MrBeast is finally finished. He is done, finally sued. Down here, he's finished again. It got worse. He's over. Finally done. The end. It's done. 4 in a row here. Oh, 7 in a row here. Finally over. He's done. It's over. So again, More Pegasus did make a statement. I talked to MrBeast behind the scenes in a couple of calls. We had a real, genuine conversation. He admit he did a lot wrong. As for Soggy Cereal's video, that's the one we're about to watch. Some things were right, but some were pretty wrong too. But feel free to watch it if you want. It's weird he's giving permission to watch somebody else's video. So I gotta warn you guys that I do have experience in digital marketing. So this is gonna come from a perspective of somebody who hopefully can add value to this video. So we are going to watch this leaked Dogpack404 interview, and we're gonna watch Soggy Cereal's video on the truth about MrBeast and Dogpack. We're gonna see who lied. This is gonna be a long video, guys, so like put this on in the background while you do stuff, okay? This is for the subscribers. Let's get to it.
Yes. You're pushing back on everything that we're saying. So what?
Well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt.
And I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time. Can I please have a second chance?
You were the manager of Dawson, or Dogpack404.
I was the manager of Dogpack404 for a time being.
If you had to describe the working conditions when Dawson was working with you in ideation with one word, what word would it be?
I would say it was depressing.
The war crime stuff, that was a joke. Why did you make that joke?
Actively right now, by the videos that Dawson is making, he is actively hurting the philanthropy that is helping thousands and millions of lives.
Okay, so that is something that I think is interesting. The more money that MrBeast's videos make, the more money for his philanthropy projects he gets. So there is a correlation with dissing someone popular and him having less money for philanthropy. But that doesn't mean necessarily that you can just let stuff slide.
Hey my bowl of cereal, as most of you have probably guessed by now, this video won't just be about this alleged fraudulent and manipulative asshole, it'll also be about this confirmed fraudulent and manipulative asshole, Dogpack404, also known as Dawson French, and his victims of manipulation. For the people who have not been exposed to his propaganda yet, Dogpack404, or Dawson French, is an ex-MrBeast employee who worked there for about 3 weeks, and after being fired, made or worked on videos filled with lies about MrBeast.
Right away, it's interesting to see that Dawson only worked for MrBeast for 3 weeks, given the fact that he had, you know, over 6 hours of videos to put out on him. That is interesting.
And I became suspicious of Dogpack404 after he called me overdramatic for not wanting to spread serious accusations with unsubstantiated and easily refutable evidence. As well as because he tried to silence me with threats of slander after I started suspecting him of lying. So in this video, I will be debunking close to every accusation.
Ooh. Never random subscribers, Delaware mess up his name, 100 boys and girls rigged, videos are rigged, illegal lottery, Feasible's unhealthier than her. She's already went over a lot of these. FBI report, fake 10-minute videos. Where are the juicy ones? 7 days at sea faked. Jake Waddle. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here. No safety, signature fraud, child psychology. Okay. listen, if he wants to get into all these, we're all here for it. Let's check this out.
He and the people he manipulated have made. But Soggy, are you going to glaze the MrBeast, Soggy? Are you going to decry the largely owning, alleged intentionally registered sex offender hiring MrBeast, Soggy? No. See, I think we can all agree that Lunchley, kinda cringe. Logan Paul KSI collab, kinda, that's a yikes out of 10, okay? And the fucking mold situation, that is disgustingly messed up, and I'm never eating that shit in my life.
I'm giving a pass on the mold situation because that's a distribution chain problem. That's more the workers didn't put it in the refrigeration unit. Those are going to be random warehouse workers that messed up for that one.
But that doesn't mean that just because this spiteful, vengeful ghoul accuses MrBeast of intentionally hiring a registered sex offender, that he actually did. Yeah, let's talk about the lie spun by Dogpack and Jake Weddle, that MrBeast knowingly hired a registered sex offender and while working at the company would refer to him by covert codename Delaware because of the crimes he committed there, and as a result is not allowed to go back into the state of Delaware.
I thought that was really weird because I didn't know that it was illegal to say, hey, you can't go back to this state anymore. I didn't think that was ever even a thing.
And that MrBeast higher-ups are using that nickname because they enjoy messed up insider jokes like that.
When I was there, they called him Delaware. He's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask.
Which, just saying that out loud makes it sound like a contrived side plot in a badly written Netflix series, since state banishments are extremely rare. Most recent one I found was a 1-year Kentucky banishment in the year 2000. Luckily, the real story is much more boring. See, according to a non-anonymous MrBeast employee, Dustin Harris.
Okay. According to this guy that we can actually confirm,
who has been working at MrBeast for about 6 years and went rogue because he couldn't stand Jimmy not responding to all of the misinformation being spread about not just Jimmy or the MrBeast company, but also about his own friends and colleagues. Well, he explained that Delaware was once a store manager at Jimmy's local Best Buy, which, for the people who don't know, Best Buy is a $20 billion valued electronics retailer company with stores all over the US. I mean that when Jimmy was 19 and first started blowing up on YouTube, Jimmy realized he needed employees to improve his content. So, as a dumbass, impulsive 19-year-old randomly thrown into fame, he went to his local Best Buy and asked its employees if they wanted to work for him. Naively thinking that a multi-billion-dollar company would have at least made sure to not hire criminals and especially to not hire a registered sex offender as store manager, 19-year-old MrBeast didn't do background checks. Was that stupid? Yes. Is Delaware a piece of shit? Yes.
Oh, why? So he did do piece of shit stuff. We'll get into it.
Should Jimmy take responsibility for making that mistake? Yes. But it wasn't this fucked up master plan by Jimmy to intentionally hire an RSO. It was a dumb mistake by an inexperienced adolescent starting up a business.
Okay, so I don't know where you guys are so far, but it is, just because he was young and inexperienced doesn't excuse that behavior, but I'm interested in seeing that this guy isn't just straight up defending MrBeast. He's also calling him a piece of crap for doing this stuff. I thought this would be a one-sided video, but it seems like so far it's kind of in the middle.
And you don't need to take mine or Dustin's word for it. If someone did but a shred of research, you'd find this still publicly available, almost 7-year-old video on the MrBeast channel, where you can see Delaware as the Best Buy store manager before he was hired at MrBeast.
But you would have to do research for that, and Dogpack didn't really do the amount of research that he led us on to believe. Again, he literally compared a large MrBeast bar to a small Hershey's and then said, ooh, this one has more sugar, it's worse for you. Like, that's not a good level of, research.
And guess what nickname was embroidered on his Best Buy uniform? Delaware. Wow. Well, that was hard investigative research.
They called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. You know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask.
Okay, so Dogpack did lie about that. That's something Dogpack said happened that is a lie.
Wearing a mask.
For the people thinking that he still works at MrBeast, no, he was fired over half a decade ago. Now, Dogpack, before you say something along the lines of, what about the recording we showed from a real MrBeast employee talking about Delaware? Do you really want me to go into detail about how you and your cronies tricked an employee into saying what you wanted him to say?
Yes, let's go into it.
Support your lies and then you guys recording him and using that recording without his consent?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Garrett. Can you tell me a bit about how long you worked at MrBeast?
I was at MrBeast from around 2017 to 2021.
So you've worked there for 5 years and could be seen as a credible ex-employee.
Yep.
You're the person who we can hear talk about Delaware in the recording Dawson or Dogpack404 shows in his video. Can you tell me a bit about how that happened?
Yeah, it was not to my knowledge that I was being recorded at all. I have a friend who, I worked with plenty of times outside of MrBeast. Just thought it was just like a normal call, just checking up on him, him checking up on me. And, when two people speak about old places, there's drama, there's gossip, there's catching up, there's, et cetera, whatever. And then the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, Dogpack releases like a 12 million view video where, I just have a really crappy voice changer over my voice. And if you know me, like, it's me.
So was the entire call basically just rumors you were talking about with a friend?
Yeah, it's just a friend. We're just shooting the shit, and we're just gossiping a lot, catching up on the current drama. Like, okay. It's just it is nothing crazy.
Okay, so it's clearly just talking about rumors, which obviously aren't always accurate. Okay, and then that was put in the Dogpack video. A silly rumor was put in the Dogpack video as fact. Okay,
like nothing you said had any actual facts behind it, as they try to construe in their video.
No, I don't. I don't think any of the stuff that we were talking about really had any facts or like evidence. It was just water cooler talk.
Would you say them using the call recording unconsensually in their video has damaged you or your life in any way?
Yeah, unfortunately. To say that it hasn't hurt me financially would be just a lie.
Okay, so we're gonna do a fun game here. Only worked for 3 weeks, recorded gossip without permission, then posted it as fact.
And when it got to that recording, my stomach just like sank.
All because of a call that they unconsensually recorded, which you clarified was basically rumors and gossip.
Yeah, pretty upset.
But you're allowed to betray friendships for YouTube videos, obviously.
But then, what about Jake the Viking's tweet about Jimmy's mom literally allowing her then barely of age son to knowingly be in contact with and hire a pedophile? First of all, have you thought about just how fucking absurd that sounds? And second, Jake the Viking is a shitty person and untrustworthy.
What? Why is that true?
Even Dogpack's friends agree on that.
I really don't think Sue would knowingly let Jimmy hire a registered sex offender when he was barely 18. Viking said they knew, but even Waddle has a problem with what he says, so nobody likes what Viking says. I wonder why.
Viking is not a good guy, and that's just an opinion based on his actions in my eyeballs.
Wow, Dogpack and Jake Weddle falsely implying MrBeast intentionally hired a registered sex offender and...
That's a big deal. Man, these attorneys are going to come after Dogpack hard. He already unlisted videos. Like, what's next?
Created a nickname to joke about it within the company to then try back up their baseless claims by tricking an employee and recording him without consent.
When it was just rumors and he took it as fact.
That's pretty messed up, Soggy.
Yeah.
Yahoo! That'd be as shameless as falsely accusing someone of committing war crimes against the Geneva Convention in a consented to solitary confinement challenge where you'd earn $10,000 a day and can quit whenever you want and still keep the accumulated prize money up until that point. During a time where we have multiple countries actively at war in the world with millions of people suffering because of it.
Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. He never said that MrBeast broke the convention rules. That was, come on now. That's a little bit of a stretch, I think.
Oh, wait.
And I go up to my friend, my good friend. He goes, "What? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists." Oh!
Yeah, but you're allowed to do it to people who can leave any time. That's the difference that you're leaving out, buddy.
So I just wanted to cheer him up with a dumb and edgy joke. Oh,
yeah, it was a joke.
So it was a joke.
Yeah.
Dustin actually did say the war crime stuff as a joke. Okay, that makes sense.
Obviously.
Because in a follow-up video of Jake Weddle's and Dogpack's interview, Jake Weddle seems to slip up, saying it was a joke.
The same guy who did the war crime joke.
Before quickly correcting himself.
Which turned out to not be a joke.
And his videos are pretty unedited, so he might have just accidentally let it slip through the cracks.
24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
It's a really big allegation to say that, like, MrBeast took away your agency and, in a sense, kind of like forced you into doing this. But
I don't think he even implied that MrBeast took away his agency in this video. He just said that he felt he couldn't quit because everybody was watching him. There was a video on the line.
I agree. That is very serious. That's why I alleged it.
And viewers clearly didn't think it was a joke either. But just as I will rip into Jimmy later in this video, I'll also investigate Jake Weddle's story in more detail later in this video. Because in between him falsely accusing Jimmy of intentionally hiring an RSO and comparing himself consensually agreeing to doing a challenge for $10,000.
Oh, we should probably add that one to the list. That's a big deal. Says MrBeast hired a sex offender. Because that's a pretty big deal that they insinuated that was like that they were doing that on purpose. That was kind of shitty on Dogpack in my opinion.
$1 a day, being allowed to leave whenever he wants to rape victims and victims of war crimes, even though he knew that was a joke.
The same guy who did the war crime joke.
As well as spreading fake AI-generated incriminating voice recordings of MrBeast.
What are our options? Is this legally considered defamation? Because I was struggling here. Can someone please tell me what my options are here? Because we were supposed to launch the voice today. Jake knows what he wants. Jake knows what he thinks he needs. He's supposed to be our student.
Well, hold on. AI. What? There's AI. AI generated conversations? What? Hold on. What?
He has no idea how much fucking money I spent on that video to subscribe it. Jake, I really think it's a problem. I think it's toxic.
That's right. I got that sent to me, and you know what? That was AI.
Maybe say that before playing the recording, because you worked at MrBeast, and you know how people will just watch the recording and then click off of the video without ever hearing your disclaimer that it was AI generated. Oh, but then you wouldn't get as much money from views because this AI generated disinformation video is the one that got your channel monetized.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
And then after making those slanderous claims, accept another $50,000 from Jimmy with no strings attached, there's a lot more to be said about him.
That's my brand, is being honest and crying a lot.
And about how Dogpack manipulated him. But let's first continue with all of the lies and manipulation of Dogpack404. Now, for the visual learners watching, you'll see that I have behind me a wall. And this wall features most of Dogpack404's accusations. And I say most because at this point there are just so many that I might have forgotten a few. And every time I disprove one of his accusations, it'll be crossed through with red marker. Every time I prove one to be uncertain, I'll add a blue question mark to it. And every time an accusation Dogpack made is true, I'll add a green check mark to it. And I know that you, and I, and everyone else wants to know about the illegal lotteries. Did MrBeast really commit 3 malicious and predatory illegal lotteries as get-rich-quick scheme? Well,
kind of. Dogpack actually admitted that these weren't illegal and just said, I think the way the lottery laws are, it's unethical. But in the video, he clearly said they were illegal. So that's kind of shitty of Dogpack to do, but let's see what this guy says about it.
Starting right now with the alleged illegal lottery number 3 claim of Dogpack404. Or should I say doctoring up evidence to make more convincing claims you knew to be untrue, Back404. Yeah, Dawson, I'm the first one who noticed. See, for the third illegal lottery, by sure to be in a video live stream, Dogpack claims they only informed people on the website that no purchase was necessary.
The website had a no purchase necessary link hidden at the bottom of the page. Okay, so that makes it a legal lottery then.
But, did you...
but it wasn't on the stream. Interesting.
You read the description? You know, the description which I got via the Wayback Machine, where it literally says free entry available on site.
Oh, so that's another lie. Dawson literally lied again. Dogpack literally lied again. Okay. Lottery descriptions not including disclaimers. That's a straight up lie, dude. Man, I'm very confused right now.
Oh, but wait, you never actually found the description of that video, did you? You just made it look that way by doctoring up this fake YouTube UI. So you'd be more convincing and it'd look as if you had access to the original video and description. So people would more easily believe you. But I want you, the viewer, to closely compare these two layouts. This one is
I'm going to move my face for this, guys.
the UI when he talks about the buy a shirt to be in my video live stream. And this one is the actual current YouTube UI you see whenever Dogpack shows a screen recording of public videos you can still watch. And when putting the two side by side, you can see that the UI for the illegal live stream is not the real YouTube UI.
It's not real. You can't see the likes. Man, I would have never caught this.
Instead of rounded corners, they're sharp, the likes are gone, the upload date is in a completely wrong spot where it has never been, and the button sizes and title font just seem off. And no, it's not because he found an older YouTube UI via the Wayback Machine like I did, because they don't hide likes and YouTube has never had this exact UI. Sure, it had sharp corners once, but not in combination with these exact other UI elements. But you want to know the funniest part? Even the re-uploaded version that Dogpack found and then added a manipulative fake YouTube UI to actually had copied the original live stream's description. So even in the re-upload he found, it says that there's a free entry option. Yet he still doctored up this fake UI to make his intentional lies more convincing. Now,
literally just a straight up lie then. That wasn't like a mistake. That was literally just a straight up lie.
I'm just kidding. Funniest part is that MrBeast verbally says it on stream.
Go shopmrbeast.com, buy the shirt or hoodie. You could be one of the people that come down and compete in the video. There's also a free entry on the site as well.
So he even mentions it in the video.
If you just 100 of which are going to be picked from you know, people that buy this shirt or hoodie, or if you enter for free on the site as well, it's, that's an option as well. So,
oh my god, you're so sneaky. Now, when someone is prepared to doctor up evidence to make potentially incriminating lies more convincing, it automatically puts every single one of their accusations that isn't bulletproof into question. So,
okay.
Throughout this video, you'll also see that there are multiple examples of him leaving out crucial details from evidence that would easily disprove the accusations he's making. Because Dawson loves framing things deceitfully to push his personal agenda.
Shopify dashboard. We just have like a random number generator, and then like we just put the number, like if there's 1,000 orders, we just put it, picks a number between 1 and 1,000, and then my people give me the name.
This is the fake one because see the sharp corners? Sharp corners, so it's a fake UI.
Wait a second! MrBeast is only picking out of this Shopify list? Well, does that mean he's only giving away 2 paid entries after all? No. You can be part of a Shopify giveaway without having to make any purchase whatsoever. These are some generic examples of how to enter Shopify giveaways for free on the official Shopify website. MrBeast scamming someone out of a lifetime of dog food and then tried silencing the so-called victim on Reddit?
As far as fake giveaways go, I'm sort of limited in what I can say without exposing confidential information and getting sued. So my official statement is that sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally,
NDA excuse gets used a lot to make lies seem more credible. So he says something iffy, and then he's like, I can't go more into it because of legal reasons. Interesting.
I believe that is intentional. Here's one example where someone on Reddit posted saying that they were promised free dog food for life in exchange for letting MrBeast use them in a video. 5 months later, they still haven't received their dog food.
What I'm curious about is Dogpack said that random people are never used. Straight up never used. And now he's saying this was a random person that was used for a MrBeast video. So there's another little lie, but okay.
I actually sent this post to someone who works at MrBeast, and they said they were going to send it to the PR team, and then the Reddit post got taken down. So I don't know if it got resolved.
Okay, so if you don't know, then why would you make this?
Not true. Here is a message from the Reddit user stating MrBeast did reach out to them as well as everyone else. Apparently this user just hadn't noticed at first because the MrBeast company's email went to the user's spam.
From what I understand, the email on file went to their spam folder and didn't see it. We had to find a different way to reach them. Okay.
Folder. The issue got resolved and then the Reddit post got deleted.
Sometimes things slip through the cracks, and personally, I believe that is intentional.
An email getting sent to spam is intentional. Said they never sent free dog food to winner. The email went to spam.
Oh, the new Feastables formula has more sugar and calories than Hershey?
This one pissed me off because I know about this one. They literally, it's just not true. It's like a 1 gram difference or something.
MrBeast changed the formula again to where it has mostly...
Look at this right away. 43 grams for the Hershey's bar, 60 grams for the Feastable. Do you think that's a fair comparison? Literally lied about sugar content in Feastables. Okay? Because that's basically what he's doing.
The same ingredients as Hershey's and even more sugar and more calories per bar.
Well, that'd be pretty messed up after MrBeast actively advertised his chocolate to be healthier than Hershey's. Luckily, it's just another lie. Dogpack is being deceitful here because he's comparing a single serving sized 43 grams Hershey's bar to a 2 serving sized 60 grams Feastables bar, instead of comparing it to a 1 serving sized 35 grams Feastables bar. While if you recalculate the ingredients of both to 43 grams, then you'll see that Feastables still has less sugar than Hershey.
Oh, I thought it was roughly the same, but it's slightly less sugar. Okay.
It actually has less calories than the previous formula.
This pit is fake.
No, it's not. Here's footage of them digging the pit. You know what? Here's a...
Why would he lie about something like that? Said a pit is fake, but it's not. Okay.
Crew members' footage of the 2 non-CGI buses and non-CGI train being in the pit after they drove them in there.
Shredder is CGI.
Nope. At this timestamp, they do shred an actual Lamborghini in a legitimate shredder.
It looks like they just changed the color.
But I will say that when they use CGI, it looks fucking terrible, as if
claimed things were CGI that weren't. Man, this is getting interesting.
If it came straight out of a CW show.
This car is digitally lifted.
This car isn't digitally lifted, however they did change the original red coloring to blue to make a visual distinction between the first rocket car they launched and failed, which was red, and the second one they launched, which succeeded but was also red. Because they were scared that both cars being red might confuse the audience, so in post, they just changed the second one's color to blue. But there was no digital lift.
What you're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
You can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee, but the evidence still speaks for itself.
The evidence does speak for itself.
Of course. But the evidence still speaks for itself.
Of course.
This accusation of Dogpack404 actually upset this engineering YouTuber who passionately worked on that rocket car for months to get it working, just to have this goober claim that it's faked. But Dawson doesn't care about collateral damage done to others. He doesn't mind throwing people in front of non-CGI buses to push his own agenda. He did it with the rocket car YouTuber. He did it with that tricked employee's phone recording they showed without his consent.
Okay, so what he's doing now is he's throwing Dawson's credibility under the bus. I would rather he just sticks to facts, because technically Dawson could have just been wrong about all of this and not done a lot of it maliciously. Probably not true. I'm just not that interested when you attack somebody's credibility instead of addressing the facts. Does that make sense?
And he tried doing it with me by calling me overdramatic, pressuring me into making a video accusing MrBeast with uncertain and refutable evidence, which by now I know to be untrue, which he doubled down on, by the way. Every other commentary YouTuber did it without getting sued, even though just because a lot of YouTubers tried milking
That's funny, because Dogpack literally is being sued by MrBeast, or at least there's pending stuff.
The situation and threw unsubstantiated, easily disprovable accusations out there for clout, views, and money without getting sued doesn't make it an okay thing to do, Dogpack. Or do you think it's acceptable to make false CP allegations?
I just told the internet a billionaire had CP when he didn't. Wow.
Which, maybe I should talk about that for a
Please,
second.
I never
See,
heard
in a
of that.
recent video on Rosanna Pansino's channel, Dogpack404 claimed to have access to leaked work chat messages, with one of them being Ava Christison distributing alleged CP, except Dogpack doesn't always use the term alleged.
Yeah, this is the most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting.
And he also proudly admitted to having downloaded that and censored
Okay, so that would make Dogpack go to jail if that was true.
alleged CP on a now deleted community post, and admits to having reverse image searched what he thought was CP
What?
in the video. Obviously, Dawson French himself was called out for owning and reverse image searching what he believed was fucking CP, because that is weird and a crime.
Of CP are not protected under First Amendment rights and are illegal contraband under federal law. The legal definition of sexually explicit conduct does not require that an image depict a child engaging in a sexual activity. A picture of a naked child may constitute illegal CP.
So he deleted that community post to then lie about never having had the uncensored CP on someone else's YouTube video. Funny thing is that it only took 1 hour for people to find this tweet about that exact picture of 18-year-old Ivanka Trump being in a GQ magazine. It legitimately took 1 hour, 1 hour, to not falsely accuse someone of distributing CP.
It's like he constantly lies to get himself out of trouble, and only when he's run out of lies and in face of a serious trouble and he's run out of options does he reveal the truth. Then he tries to pull the LOL I said allegedly thing again. I said as Ava alleges, I said in my opinion, I said may, I said if.
Yeah, this is the most disgusting one by far. Well, actually, the CP was probably more disgusting. But
So either Dogpack knew that it wasn't CP and made those false accusations anyways, or he's just a fucking idiot who can't even use Google. But that wasn't the only lie in that video, was it, Dawson?
This isn't a work chat. This is just a small snapshot of a company chat, but it's, I think, one of many. I've heard that there's other company chats that they communicate on.
Yes.
And
it wasn't a work chat. It was created as an NSFW meme chat by already known degenerate Ava Christison. There's even examples of Ava getting mad whenever anyone talks about anything work related.
this is just a small snapshot of a company chat. Small snapshot of a company chat.
What you're saying, the things that you're saying are truly in good faith, and that you're not a disgruntled employee.
you can watch my video and like view it through the lens of, oh, this guy's just a disgruntled employee, but the evidence still speaks for itself.
However, at one point it was changed to a work chat by Ava, at which point she also kicked everyone unrelated out of there. But then the chat instantly died because obviously no one else, including Jimmy, wanted to use it as a work chat. Now, I will say that even though this image is confirmed not to be CP, Ava did seem to think it was at the time, and so this proves that she is even worse than we thought and is a disgusting individual. However, the way Dogpack tried distributing what he believes was a picture of a sexually abused child to thousands of possibly child viewers wasn't to inform people of degenerate Ava Christison, but instead was to push his own agenda, framing MrBeast into allegedly knowing that Ava was a confirmed pedophile. It's so disgusting. See, I say framing because if you look at all of the messages around that image...
See, I thought that it was pretty much confirmed that MrBeast knew Ava was a weirdo.
It's a huge rant from not just Ava, but other people as well, about pedophiles exposed by the hacker group Anonymous in this Twitter thread she linked with that picture of Ivanka Trump, because it was in that Twitter thread, as well as a rant about Jeffrey Epstein and billionaire pedos. And I don't think context matters here on Ava Tyson's side. I still think this is fucking disgusting. However, I do think context matters for the people
Ava's weird to share a picture of someone who is apparently 13.
receiving Ava Christison's messages. I'm sorry, but if I'd see my friends actively ranting about pedophiles and bashing them, I'd actively be convinced to not think they're a pedophile when they send degenerate memes like this. I just cringe on the inside while thinking that they have a degenerate sense of Zoomer humor.
Zoomer humor, you know, that humor's always been around. Even, you know, I'm a millennial. We've had that same humor. It's stupid. It's just trying to be an edgy teen is all it is.
With all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
Basagi, Rosanna Pansino, and Dogpack404 reported Jimmy Beast to the FBI.
I have reported what I found and my concerns to the authorities. Tag FBI. Hopefully they will look into these MrBeast Telegram company chat logs and other concerns.
So he's gotta be a pedophile. I think people vastly underestimate just how easy you can report someone to the FBI. Even as a non-American citizen myself, I just created this entire forum of Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French, aka Dogpack404, distributing CP in 2 minutes on tips.fbi.gov, which I will now submit to the FBI.
Damn.
Soggy Serial reported Rosanna Pansino and Dawson French to the FBI. Holy shit, they've gotta be guilty now. See what I did there? Also, I didn't submit this because unlike 2 other creators, I'd rather not waste the FBI's time from finding actual CP distributors to push a selfish, manipulative, and personal agenda. And
I always did think it was weird when someone's like, hey, I actually reported this. That doesn't make it true, though. That means you reported it. That's all that means.
manipulating Rosanna Pansino so you could use her bigger channel to spread this disinformation is so vile. Look, I knew you were petty, Dawson, but I never expected you to stoop this low. He also tried dragging the famous anime Higehiro and its fandom through the mud by...
Bro, I am not going to make fun of your hairline because I have a hat on for a reason.
saying it's about a 26-year-old having a romantic relationship with a minor.
Let's see if Jimmy knew about Ava's concerning behavior. June of 2021, he sends a message of an anime called Higehiro. It says, I bet Chris would love this show.
Okay, so that's, to me, like, this is stuff that I would send. Like, something stupid, I bet friend name would love this, when clearly it's just making fun of the friend.
What's this show about?
Well, it's interesting that you ask, because this show is about a romantic relationship between a 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway.
So Jimmy in the chats is saying, I bet Chris would love this show, because it's right up her alley.
Why do you think Chris would love that show, Jimmy?
And MrBeast saying Ava would love this? Even though the anime is about the exact opposite.
He posted that one thing about the anime with the, like, a doll getting into a relationship with a...
No, it's still weird. I think it's still weird. Like, I wouldn't watch that anime.
Okay, here's the thing. That's a lie. That is such a bullshit lie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
He literally said...
No. He literally said, I think Chris would like this. Why would he say that, though? No, the context of that anime, that show is about a 26-year-old guy, okay? He takes in this runaway girl who is selling herself to prostitution. She's like 17 or whatever, 16. I don't remember. She's 17, 16. She's selling her body because she ran away from home because some other shit happened. And I remember this because my friend tried showing this to me, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It turned out it was actually a very wholesome show about this dude kind of teaching her, like, how to get through, like, all this trauma that she had in her life. There was never any romantic intentions there. Sure, if you watch the anime in the first episode, the girl was coming on to him, but the guy rejected her and saw her as a daughter. That whole show, he had a whole nother love interest in that show this whole time.
So they lied about the show's description, making it seem pedo-ish.
This was never about the dude getting into a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old.
You guys actively pissed off the entire anime side of Twitter with this one. So this again more so proves Jimmy didn't know.
So with all this evidence, I think it's definitely fair to say that Jimmy knew about Ava Tyson's behavior.
Wanna know the worst of all? Dogpack and Rosanna used what they thought was a CP picture as clickbait for their fucking thumbnail. They even A/B tested 3 versions of it. Will the allegedly abused child garner more views with a red background or the pink background?
Oh my god.
Following their logic, they are now both confirmed pedophiles and should have 100% known that of one another. I can't, dude. I can't.
So we have Dogpack lied about an anime to make it seem pedo-ish to prove that MrBeast knew Ava was pedo-ish, but the anime was wholesome.
And this video, where they do all this, Dogpack dares to try and invalidate my past accusations that his video IDs he came up with while working at MrBeast were weirding and creeping employees out.
I suggested a video for breast cancer awareness about buying 1,000 boobs. So like maybe not the most professional way to phrase it, you know, it's a little clickbaity or whatever, but like the actual video is supposed to be paying for mastectomies and cosmetic surgeries for breast cancer survivors.
That's amazing. That's wonderful.
With a thumbnail and title like these? Oh wait, if this wasn't supposed to be creepy or weird, then why did you make sure to blur the title and thumbnail when showing it on screen? Don't be shy, I still got the sharp version.
I bought 1,000 boobs. What? I never saw that video.
Oh, was it because 4 objectified headless pairs of boobs with the MrBeast clickbait face and the title I bought 1,000 boobs wasn't in line with your I'm not a weird creep agenda you were trying to push? Yeah, this it's about cancer awareness message seems more like you realizing your manager didn't think that joke
Dawson deleted
objectifying women was funny, and you're then desperately trying to save your own skin by
oh, so Dawson sent that as a joke. He actually sent that thumbnail.
You know, using cancer, especially when you also sent in these work IDs such as Baby Battle Royale.
Baby Battle Royale? I put babies in a circle with weapons? Dawson, what the what? I put babies in a circle with weapons. If a baby leaves or cries, they are eliminated. Parents watch from above. Last baby standing or crawling wins $1 million. Babies, use baby-safe weapons like balloons, nunchucks, and mace. Dawson, what the fuck, dude?
With babies carrying assault rifles, or MrBeast does every...
I tried every drug. Drug number 19. Take every drug, LMAO. Okay, this is probably just a joke, too.
Drug challenge? Were those also for Breast Cancer Awareness Month? Also, didn't you say that MrBeast is mainly targeted toward kids?
Encouraging like almost children simping for these people. I would say he's gained most of his audience since then, and his content's only gotten younger. Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds.
What happened to that claim? Look, I expected them at the end of the video to say that it was some twisted parody. But nope, they seemed pretty proud of their slanderous content where they admitted to committing multiple alleged federal crimes.
Notably, the legal definition of sexual explicit conduct does not require that an image... Oh my, I'm not even gonna read this, dude. What?
So, same time next week? But his collateral damage doesn't end with allegedly abused children. He also uses old people. For example, he tried using contestant 58 from...
He said that was a CGI wink.
...from the ages 1 to 100 video by claiming that he didn't really wink.
In this video, this wink was added in post.
And that number 58 didn't hear number 42 getting out of the booth.
In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him.
And because of that, number 58, a 58-year-old man, was so confused and getting harassed online to the point he felt that he had to make a TikTok about it.
Hey guys, Mr. 58. Been a while since I've posted anything, but something's really been concerning me a little bit. I've been seeing things on the internet that have said I didn't wink in the MrBeast video 1 to 100. I did wink.
Lied about old man winking.
I winked a few times, as a matter of fact. The other thing that's been said is I didn't hear 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. Yes, I heard 42 say he was stepping out of his cube. I did it on my own accord to step out with 2 seconds left on the clock. I know of nothing in that video that was staged whatsoever, and I don't know why these rumors are going over the internet that these things didn't happen. Everything that I did in that video, and nothing was edited after the fact. Everybody be good and have a great day.
This is just...
What a wholesome dude.
This is just sad. I actually got mad seeing this old sweet guy get so upset. And what was Dogpack's proof for these claims? Well, I've got to preview the 1 to 100 video once, so now you've got to believe every baseless claim I make around it. Because you're so trustworthy, Dawson. I'd rather believe the sweet old guy who literally was in the video.
Everybody be good and have a great day.
He did it with Mark Bates, a random subscriber contestant.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million. I literally was in this video right here, and all I did was subscribe. I had no relationship with MrBeast or anything like that. and they flew me down to North Carolina. I live in Cleveland, and changed my life forever. Literally. All I did was subscribe.
Who won $1 million and then made a video after winning that prize, which Dogpack just took a very out of context clip from.
Another example of things slipping through the cracks.
The second thing that I probably would do different is invest. I talked to Jimmy after I won $1 million, after I finally got the remaining amount in my bank account. I was telling him, I was like, man, I don't want to fail. I don't want to be like how everybody's saying, like I'm gonna run out of money and do all this crazy stuff. I was like, man, Jimmy, please help me. And he said he was gonna help me and and we was gonna invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So.
Oh no, he didn't invest for Mark. Oh wait, what's this clip right after? Which Dogpack conveniently didn't put in his video?
Invest, but yeah, that didn't happen. So yeah, and let me clarify, Jimmy did help me. Cause I know, like I said, I know y'all be like,
Jimmy did help.
He did help me financially, but like
hold on. This is a big deal. So now clipped out the sub saying he did help me. All right, I guess that would be another lie, right? I don't know, guys.
He did give me funds.
Oh, so MrBeast still funded Mark even after winning and spending the $1 million? Okay. Apparently they just had him on a monthly salary at the MrBeast company without him having to perform any work there. Well, this guy's a victim. Mark Pate himself was so fucking frustrated from Dogpack using this out of context clip to push his personal agenda that he made 2 more videos speaking out against all of the DMs he was getting from Dogpack's followers.
Channel everywhere. You guys been saying that I'm a victim of MrBeast and that he didn't help me. You've been talking about everything. It's not my story, so I really wanted to get up here and tell you guys that MrBeast really did come through for me. Jimmy, I love you.
Dogpack doesn't give a shit about who or what he uses or whose life he ruins just to push his own narrative, and it's fucking disgusting. Showing out of context clips and snippets is something that Dogpack does a lot, by the way. He also did it with Mac when MrBeast asked him what he was gonna do with the $800,000 he won.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I've got 3 friends of mine, childhood friends of mine, and they don't have a lot of money. I'm gonna make sure they don't have to worry about money anymore. I mean, my life's changed now.
Oh wow, he's gonna give it to his 3 less fortunate friends? Well, that is so kind. Cool. Let's see what Dawson made of this.
Bathrooms.
What are you gonna spend the $800,000 on?
I mean, my life's changed now.
Yeah, I'm sure that $800,000 is really going to change your life.
Oh, so he made it seem like the guy was going to spend the money on himself. He muted the guy. Okay, wow. The guy is not... Bro, it's not looking good for Dogpack right now. It's just not.
Oh, he got that whole part out to insinuate Mac was gonna spend it on more bathrooms in his huge mansion that he didn't even have.
Mac started working full-time on the editing team at MrBeast. Also, he didn't just move into any old house, he moved into a $1 million mansion. His 6,000 square foot $1 million mansion comes with a movie theater and 7 bathrooms.
See, I saw the actual property listing and, well, obviously I can't show this, so you've got to trust me on my word. But the house is on the name of another editor at MrBeast, which Mac was sleeping over at because he himself didn't have a house. But Saugi, didn't you expose Mac for being a liar? Why are you now picking his side? I don't pick sides, nor do I just blindly hate every person I criticize.
I don't like this part. Everybody has biases. Even if you try to remain neutral, you're going to be biased. There's no point in saying you're biased. There's no point in saying you're in the middle. It's already assumed that you're going to try. People are already going to be sketchy of what you say regardless. Just cut that out.
What am I? A disgruntled employee acting like a toddler? Mac left Iraq after all. And by the way, I've never seen Mac try and use fake CP to push a personal agenda. Also, Dogpack, take that clip from my video out of yours. Cause now you're using my content to push your lies.
So over the next 7 days, I'm gonna be giving 1,000 random people that subscribe a free Samsung Galaxy S24.
How is this legal? I don't get it. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel.
All you have to do to enter to win one of these phones is subscribe.
It's a scam. Holy shit.
Samsung giveaway was legit.
Okay.
Here you can see old testimonies from random subscribers who won and got contacted by MrBeast. Also, PewDiePie never bashed that clip. It's just another example of Dogpack's manipulative editing. Now, even though we've only touched the tip of the lies of Dogpack iceberg so far, I preemptively want to ask Dawson, why would you knowingly spread all of this disinformation? Now, Dogpack, something you really shouldn't say because it would make you look real dumb, is either...
He mentioned the fact that he is not a professional journalist.
I'm not a professional journalist or investigator. My goal is just to bring credible allegations to light so they can be properly investigated. But you literally clip parts out. You clipped a part out and then basically said the opposite or insinuated the opposite. So how is this to make the investigations better?
Or investigator, just a guy throwing allegations around for other people to properly investigate.
As you did in a desperate attempt to save the little credibility you had left.
That's the guy that he said committed domestic violence, and he literally had the wrong guy.
After falsely accusing someone of domestic violence and kicking their dog in your third video. Because this is what you said in your first video, which I'm also disproving.
And I don't want to put a lot of like hearsay into this video. You should just believe the receipts that I'm showing you and not what I'm saying.
That's the worst thing you could say. Never say just believe me. Come on, dude.
Well, I've looked at the receipts, Dawson, and so far they're telling me that you're a lying asshole. And before you try and defend yourself with plausible deniability, I'll just play this clip.
MrBeast knows this, but you know, he's a poker player. He likes a little bluffery, a little plausible deniability.
Also, me disproving cheap attempts at slander from this guy doesn't mean I'm defending this guy.
Thank you. People don't understand that saying person A is a liar doesn't mean you already are on the side of Mr. B. Or Mr. Beast. What?
I know a lot of people believe in the delusion that defending MrBeast is the safe option. I know there's people have been living under a rock lately, but defending MrBeast right now is actual career suicide. While regurgitating Dogpack's lies is the easy and safe way to generate millions of views and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But in my opinion, blindly taking either side should be heavily frowned upon, because there are some very questionable and fucked up decisions MrBeast has made that he needs to be held accountable for. And I'll get to that. However, to effectively criticize him, help genuine victims, and hold them morally and legally accountable, we must first clear the table of all of the lies that have been spread by Dawson French, aka Dogpack404, such as the lie of Feastables using child slavery. It takes a single Google search to find several public articles to prove that from October 2023, the same time when they took their slave-free banner off of the Feastables website, they've been in talks to join Tony Chocolonely's Open Chain Ethical Sourcing Initiative. And did so officially from March 2024, which if you don't know, Tony Chocolonely's is a Dutch chocolate brand known for their goal to produce chocolate as ethically as possible.
I like that. We like this.
And one of few companies legitimately doing so. I mean, now Feastables is the first major US-based company who joined them with the goal to actively reduce child labor and slavery in the chocolate production process. But then, why they take slave-free banner off of Feastables website? Well, dear Dogpack, already typing that question up on Twitter, you can literally read the answer on the Tony Chocolonely's website. Why did you make the switch from slave-free to exploitation-free? We've adapted our mission messaging to help us express the scope of impact work we do today. When Tony started, we were laser focused on one issue in the cocoa industry, but as we've grown, our areas of impact have grown too. Our mission statement needs to be inclusive of all the work we do today.
Okay, so it's even better now. It's saying because child labor is not necessarily slavery in a lot of areas of the world, so now they've expanded their mission and made it even more ethical.
From addressing multidimensional poverty to remediating child labor and everything in between. Wow! It took one Google search to not falsely accuse someone of using child slavery? Yes. For the people who don't know, Dogpack did falsely accuse someone of DV and AB.
MrBeast, Dogpack404, put out his third video, MrBeast's Secret CEO, in which he was later proven to have accused an innocent man, James Warren, MrBeast's cousin, of domestic violence. He later admitted this on Twitter after his own source disproved him and he looked into it himself, only to find out he accused the wrong guy.
And that slanderous video is still up, by the way, after more than a month of people begging him to take it down.
It's down now, it's unlisted.
A disclaimer, He took it down a few days ago, but after almost 2 months and 3.1 million views, you're not getting off the hook that easily, Dawson. And the video of the false CP allegations is also still up. He also made life-ruining allegations against Lokoya Hill, who was the person that made the decision to fire Dogpack. Here's an audio clip from the leaked firing interview at Beast.
I'm Lokoya, I'm our CEO. Part of my job is you're pushing back on everything that we're saying. So
well, because you're trying to fire me, and I want to work at this company.
I'm the CEO of this company. If I'm talking, don't interrupt me.
Oh, brother, ooh.
This is what's happening, and you're telling me that I'm wrong. I am not wrong. I've made the decision. Here, we will take care of.
I appreciate that. Can I please have a second chance?
It's not.
Just, if I'm getting paid, just let me come in and let me try to be coachable. If Hoodie changes his mind, can I? I've been trying to get to this point of working on MrBeast for a long time.
I wonder why he's trying to destroy Lokoya's life.
I think there are other people at the company. If I were to switch departments, that would be very happy to have me. I don't care about the salary.
It's not what happened, dude.
Or Doc Scarra.
Why was he fired?
You're hiring.
But why was he fired?
Manager.
Or put a picture of his manager on his psychotic wall for no reason but personal spite. Coincidentally, all 3 of those people were in the room when Dogpack was fired.
I'm our CEO.
Car, we are still going to reimburse you.
This is the original contract and the original NDA. And
it's like he's just doing all this out of a personal grudge.
Okay.
Yes.
We will lie if we have to. I mean,
of course.
I just try to be honest, I guess.
What is selfless hero? You know, a selfless hero who, whenever he can, mentions that he didn't make these slanderous videos with any personal gain in mind.
That's like the whole point of this is the video's not monetized. It's on a new account.
This is what I'm interested about because I know he's not selling shirts. So how is he making money off of this? What would he have to gain by lying if he doesn't have monetization in the videos?
Wait, what do you mean that's the whole point? You didn't say that.
Like, you know, in the description of my video, it says, or in the intro too, it says this is not monetized. Because if it's monetized, then people think I'm just doing it for clout and money.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you're doing it to expose the truth on woke media.
Exactly.
This is textbook manipulation. Him saying he's not gaining anything out of these videos is extremely deceptive. He gained 700,000 loyal subscribers.
Okay, so here's a very basic digital marketing thing that he's doing. He didn't monetize these videos, but he got subscribers. That doesn't mean he's not going to make another video in the future and monetize it and then make money directly due to the popularity he gained from slandering MrBeast, assuming it's a slander.
Collaborations with huge creators, which he's clearly trying to abuse. And it's all built on lies, deceit, and manipulation. If there is one person who gained anything from all this, it's Dogpack. And purely out of principle, I'm putting a mid-roll ad here. Here Dogpack talks about how MrBeast scammed everyone by having...
I like the fact that he said, out of principle, I will monetize, and it's funny enough for me to actually want to watch the ad.
People pay to get their memes sent to the moon, the rocket exploding, and them not offering refunds. First of all, people have shown proof of getting refunds even before the failed launch, just because it took longer than expected. Second of all, have you thought about a second launch? And as usual, I don't just have to take Dustin's word for it. The news article, which you put in your proof document, literally states the following. However, failure would not mean the end for S Robotic, which is the company MrBeast paid to carry a copy of the hard drive filled with the memes. It's certainly going to have some impact on our relationships and our ability to secure additional missions in the future. S Robotic already has a contract to fly another robotic lunar lander mission for NASA later this year. And this conveniently went unmentioned in your video.
3 years later, the spaceship finally launched, carrying beautiful pictures of deceased loved ones to the moon, where they would be immortalized. It fucking exploded.
Side note, here Dogpack also uses another very manipulative tactic, where he shows this stinky, dinky scrap metal rocket instantly exploding, which made people believe that MrBeast was really trying to nickel and dime this entire space mission.
No, this is a stretch. Like, I knew right away that wasn't the real spaceship.
While in reality, the actual spacecraft carrying the hard drive was a high-quality Vulcan Centaur rocket made in collaboration with NASA as well as the ULA.
Vulcan rocket.
launching a new era in spaceflight to the moon and beyond.
Stinky Dinky Rocket, high quality spacecraft carrying the hard drive with memes from MrBeast. Dogpack's manipulation, reality. But Soggy, what about the insider knowledge he has from working there?
In my opinion, as somebody who worked for MrBeast,
it has been proven time and time again, he only worked there for 20 work days. As a new employee in like a 250 to 300 employee company, you're not gonna get much credible insider knowledge in 20 days. But he also had anonymous text messages from ex-MrBeast employees. Well, see, I have two notes on that. One is that I feel like anonymous
I think this guy's cooking Dogpack so far. He brought up a lot of good points.
text messages can be used as tangible proof if either you have the receipts to back them up, or you as a person can be trusted to not have faked or manipulated them. Which, I don't think we can trust Dawson on that one. And two, even if those messages are from legitimate ex-MrBeast employees, they're wrong. This text, for example, which Dogpack uses as a foundation for MrBeast rigging his challenges, according to them, after a shift change in the 100 Boys v Girls video, no girls were eliminated when closing off their circles, so it was pretty much rigged. They think? You can clearly see a girl got eliminated during that part of the challenge. And in this behind the scenes video, you can even see how many cameras they had to make sure the challenge wasn't rigged.
So we could constantly monitor it. This is the kind of stuff we don't normally show. We had to have 6 or 7 people here monitoring every angle, because if they just touch the red line, they're out.
He also used this video as a prime example of MrBeast never using random subscribers, even though multiple people who can be identified by their nameplate can be proven to be random, non-influencer contestants from outside of North Carolina.
They are never random subscribers.
That was just a straight up lie then.
If you subscribe, you will not win $1 million.
I subscribed to MrBeast and literally won $1 million.
I mean, that says it all right there.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager.
See, I know about this one too. A lot of the girls had COVID, so they quickly brought them in, and then they just basically eliminated themselves after, because you can't have people with COVID compete, right?
I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including
like that was obvious.
Jimmy's own girlfriend.
Yeah, Dawson. Because they were filling in for contestants who had COVID at the time. You can see MrBeast's girlfriend publicly talking about this in a podcast from years ago, by the way.
I saw on your Twitter that you were in the video 100 girls versus 100 boys for $500,000.
Yes, that was an accident. On the day, everybody had to go for COVID tests, and a lot of people came, got their COVID tests, and they tested positive. And the girls somehow ended up with way too little contestants. So I got a call randomly from the studio, and they're like, we need a female.
What, you wanted them to let contestants with COVID participate in the challenge? And in this podcast, she also says that the contestants were informed beforehand that even if they lost, they'd still receive the $5,000 prize money.
Which was the plot twist. Even if you leave, you get to keep the $5,000, which makes it easier for people to leave the circle.
Yeah.
So the goal was, it was sort of a psychological test, really.
And the people know that if they left, that they would still win.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the big plot twist, which I'm a huge fan of.
So not only were you wrong on all accounts...
He wasn't just wrong, though. He intentionally misled people with the video. Every single claim he made, he intentionally clipped out things. He had the video of people explaining the answer. He clipped those out. That's crazy.
This is probably the worst video you could have possibly tried building your case on, that MrBeast challenges are rigged. And then your only other example of this accusation is the "in 10 minutes this room will explode" video.
I want to show one more example. This is a real-time video, meaning that time elapses the same in the video as it does in real life. And the timer is clearly added in post.
Okay, this is just getting embarrassing at this point, but you sent me this picture, Dawson, to seem more credible by proving you were on the set of a video. And if you look real closely at the picture that you took, you'll notice that it's the set from the 10-minute video, where you can see that the timer was in fact not added in post.
So you could assume that producers might be off camera with remote switches to trigger the flow of water.
Assume my ass. You didn't assume shit, you're breaking your NDA by spreading confidential info you knew from being on that set. And yes, I do give permission to anyone whose life got damaged by Dawson French to use my video against him in court.
Oh, thank you, bro.
The producers might know how long it takes for the water to clear out of the room, so they can sort of decide on the fly how many turns of the valve it takes, or just when to trigger the water in general.
I believe this video is pretty faked, though. Like, I believe that's true.
To make the results close.
No, they did it for safety, as to not force someone to exert extreme force trying to turn valves underwater in a room submerged in water. Just like they replaced contestants who had COVID with employees, because for safety reasons. A thing you so vehemently claim they lack at the company. Same with this video, where a safety team forced the MrBeast crew off of their raft in the 7 Days Stranded at Sea video for about an hour because of this dangerous lightning storm. Wait, what was it you said again?
You can clearly see there's no one in the shelter.
That's true.
These are their empty beds. But you didn't
Wait, what?
spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht.
Oh yeah. You lied about them allegedly sleeping on a luxurious production yacht. No, they were forced to stay on a rusty barge for about an hour for their own safety.
But he doesn't have proof of this, so I'm not going to put that down, because this is just kind of his words against Dogpack's. I mean, he's probably telling the truth. Look at all this things Dogpack lied about. But he's not showing any videos of it being a rusty boat. So I'm not going to assume without evidence that this is true.
I went back on their raft as soon as a life-threatening lightning storm passed. And here is video proof from the rusty
see? Why do I even open my mouth, bro?
barge.
Video. Vacation yacht.
Wow,
Stay on raft.
what a luxurious
I wouldn't call that a raft either.
yacht. Now you can still argue about the fact that they went off of the raft, but I don't think it's
I think the point still stands. This one's kind of reaching.
faking a challenge when you're forced by your safety team to leave your raft once to get on a rusty barge for about an hour to sit out a life-threatening
But he did make it seem like the whole video's faked, when in reality, actually I will put this one down because that's kind of messed up. Said the ship video was fake. Yeah, I guess I'll throw that in there. But at this point, it's like, damn, dude. A lot of this stuff, this guy has receipts for a lot of this stuff.
lightning storm to then get back on the raft as soon as possible. It's making sure people don't die. On one side, you're preaching, the MrBeast company isn't safe enough.
Wow.
But then you use every single example of them actually implementing safety protocols against them as if they're doing it to rig challenges or not always use random subscribers. Do I really have to explain why they don't use complete strangers in challenges that include a man and a woman having to stay together in a small enclosed space for?
That's a good point. What would you expect them to do? But at the same time, if they are saying they're complete strangers, then if they're not complete strangers, that is a lie MrBeast did. It's a lie with good reason, but it's still a lie.
For 100 days? Pick a side, Dawson. Do you want them to fucking die for a challenge? Or do you want them to be saved? Guess why the 24 people in a circle for $1 million video didn't get published? Which Dawson insinuates was some elaborate scheme to force more people to buy shirts and then they'd run away with a profit.
We're gonna have 24 people, we're gonna put them in 24 different circles, $1 million on the line, have some fun, you know what I'm saying?
Also, this video never happened.
Okay. Weird to say that, because it's okay for a video not to happen, right?
There is no MrBeast video of 24 people in circles competing for $1 million. So like, did they just pocket the money or what?
Oh, okay, so he's saying that MrBeast said that people who bought the shirt would be in a video, and then they canceled the video.
Well, again, it was because of peak COVID. And this time, I'll let the contestant who took part in that 24 people in a circle for $1 million challenge explain what happened. I've heard that you were in the 24 people in a circle compete for $1 million challenge.
Yep.
Can you talk a bit about how you were invited to that challenge, what kind of happened, why it was never published?
MrBeast started that 24-hour live stream where he was signing t-shirts and giving stuff away for that challenge. It was a super nice hotel, like, 2 bedrooms. They'd bring meals to our room 3 times a day. It was good food, just wanting to keep everybody safe and make sure that we're doing protocols the best way that we could to engage in this video. We all COVID tested, did a giant circle. There was 24 of us, and right in the middle, there's $1 million. And we competed for a few days. All of a sudden, in the middle of the night, one of the subcontractors that worked for the team came in and kind of rushed the gun and didn't wait for his COVID results. and he tested positive. And Jimmy came out and he's like, guys, I hate to do this, but one of the guys on the crew has tested positive and I got to keep you all safe. He sent us all home with 10 grand as an apology. After the new year in January or something like that, we actually got the call again that they were going to refilm this video, and they brought us all back out. Everybody got COVID, including myself. Like, he's just like, I'm so sorry, but like we literally just, we can't do it because everybody's sick, but we'll make it up to you in the future. And again, even then, he gave us like financial contributions to help.
Did they split just like the $1 million over everyone?
Exactly.
So they still lost the prize. He still paid them. It's just the video never happened due to safety reasons, which Dawson said they don't have any safety protocols. That's crazy that he did absolutely no research on this. That's crazy. He just lied about it.
They took the $1 million and divided it through the 24.
They gave you guys $1,240,000 in total, I guess.
To stay in a hotel room.
Jesus Christ. You guys get the point that this guy is about as trustworthy as Richard Nixon during Watergate.
I don't trust Dogpack at all right now. It's, again, not defending MrBeast, but what the hell, dude? Like he's lying a lot at this point. Like, he has to be doing this on purpose.
And at this point, he has broken his NDA, committed serious defamation time and time again, and in the process harmed not just MrBeast, but also several other innocent people, who clearly mean nothing more to him than collateral damage. I'm actually surprised people don't want this guy sued, but hey, I'm no lawyer, so I don't know what's illegal, so I called one. And what Dawson is doing is surely not legal. By now, the results of an investigation done into the MrBeast LLC by an external third-party law firm have been shared and completely aligns with all of the evidence I found.
Yeah, so I did research on this law firm. You can see it. There's going to be a video linked at the end on one of the side videos. You're going to see I already made a video on this specific thing, and basically my conclusion was that the law firm's not going to damage their own credibility in order to put MrBeast in the clear. In fact, the law firm did find a lot of stuff that MrBeast was doing wrong, and it made MrBeast like step down as CEO or fire his secret CEO basically, and they had to restructure the company. But there wasn't like a lot of the illegal stuff, like Dawson said. It just wasn't there.
So if at this point you still choose to believe this guy, I kindly want to ask you to stop watching my video and continue putting crayons up your nose while drooling over Dogpack's face. Hey! What, however, is legal is the second illegal lottery.
But almost any clip you do find will have some new violation of internet gambling or sweepstakes laws.
I thought it was him. I was like, he won. Wait, really? Let's go! Wait, it's literally like his initial. Who is it? My cousin. Wait, really?
Actually, that's illegal.
Actually, that's not illegal. Only immediate family can partake in your sweepstakes, and the cousin is not immediate family.
No, that was still sketchy. I think that's still sketchy of MrBeast to even let cousins win. Like shirts and stuff. No, that's sketchy.
It would have been illegal to exclude Chandler's cousin unless if specified in the rules of that specific giveaway. And your snippet isn't from those rules. It's from some lawyer's equivalent to Stack Overflow.
So here's a clip of Tyler forging, or maybe not forging.
Then why say it?
Using MrBeast's signature.
Which is legal as far as I know.
Again, I'm not a lawyer. I think this is fraud.
Then why wouldn't you ask a lawyer? Then why wouldn't you do research before saying it's fraud? With a Google search.
Maybe ask your immediate family, lawyer, next time, because your opinions are fucking stupid. It's completely legal and fine to use someone else's signature.
It's legal, but I don't think it's okay, actually.
If they gave you formal consent to do so, and it doesn't devalue the signature.
Months later, MrBeast signed shirts again, but this time it was a 24-hour live stream with way more illegal lotteries.
Nope. MrBeast had no purchase necessary in the description.
So it wasn't an illegal lottery. We gotta put it. We gotta write it down. We gotta do it. Let's go. Let's keep watching.
And even though they did say things like,
would you guys prefer that we throw money in random orders or that we throw items in random orders?
Yeah. Somebody screamed in chat, I want to switch. Hey, buy a shirt.
If they ended up picking out of both free and paid entries for those giveaways behind the scenes, which there is no reason to believe they didn't, well, then that is legal in live streams. However, I do agree that it's very scummy and...
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Like, even if it's legal, these are because your audience is young and you're saying stuff like, hey, if you want to win, buy a shirt, it's going to confuse kids.
Manipulative advertising, in my opinion. Now, even though I have
very manipulative
disproven most of these accusations, there's still a few that I have to investigate deeper. I mean, since Dogpack404 declined every interview offer, the only other place I could dig up the truth is in the belly of the beast.
MrBeast Studio, North Carolina.
Oh man, North Carolina? Isn't that the boring part of the US? Oh well. I rewatched his first 2 job applications for MrBeast, which both got denied, and they seemed obsessive at best and pretentiously unprofessional at worst. I went over his personal Reddit account, that 5-hat guy, which, for the geriatrics watching, 5-hat is hip internet lingo for when a person says something very smart, so he's calling himself very smart, which is pretty pretentious and cringe. And I was starting to see multiple patterns here. Hundreds of obsessive posts and comments on the MrBeast.
Well, we already know he's a cringe dude. Like, whether he told the truth or not, his mannerisms are cringe. Like, his first video at the beginning, he pretended he was on mushrooms, and then lied and said, no, I wasn't, then said he was, and no one knows. That's just a weird thing to do in a video, talking about MrBeast, and in the very beginning you're pretending to be on mushrooms or something.
Subreddit. New MrBeast interview just dropped. Feasible designs. Him being pretentious, saying he would do shorts better than the current shorts team at MrBeast. Rants whenever people criticized his video IDs. Another third 15-minute long obsessive MrBeast job application where he goes into depth on viewer psychology, showcasing how aware he is of how every small piece of a video can be used to manipulate the viewer in one way or another. It now made sense why Dawson used the exact same content cop outfit as iDubbbz, or why he kept repeating his videos weren't monetized, or how he was able to frame and manipulate every lie as if it were the truth.
Okay.
It really all was viewer manipulation? This entire—
Yeah, that's a stretch, I think. Like, all content creation is viewer manipulation, because the word manipulation is very broad, right? If I want to sell something, then I'm going to make the thing I'm selling seem nice. That's manipulation too, but every single store, every single product does it.
Reddit account just seems like the online embodiment of an unhealthy MrBeast obsession. So then I went over his erratic DMs to me where he threatened to slander me with nothing but false claims. Luckily, when he did that, I still had bulletproof receipts, so Dawson had no choice but to back down. Nonetheless, this once again proved to me how Dogpack accuses and tries silencing—
This one was crazy. I still don't get how he got away with this. The Hershey's Mr. Feastables, and he's comparing a small chocolate bar to a large chocolate bar, and then saying, the large one has more sugar.
People without any fact-checking, and completely tries warping the truth to push his personal agenda. So, was he really just doing all this because his ego couldn't accept the fact that he got fired from his dream job after—
We don't know. You can't just put words. You can't just attack somebody's character. I don't know.
Only 3 weeks at a YouTuber he was obsessed with? Maybe I'm gonna get some more answers at the MrBeast company, but
we'll see.
For now, I'll just rewatch Minions for a 3rd time.
I hate long flights, dude. That's rough.
Hi, Dustin Harris. You are the, rogue employee. And I first of all wanted to ask you what you do at MrBeast, what your role is, and why you decided to reach out and correct some of the accusations that have been made.
I worked for Jimmy almost 6 years, going on 6 years. I've been a writer, director, producer, production coordinator, an assistant, an executive assistant, head of production, head of creative,
It's interesting that they have a single Monster energy drink and the logo's facing forward. I wonder why that is.
Construction, you name it. I've done everything that I can do in this company, and not just to see people slander the work that you've done, but to know that it's lies and misinformation will make anybody speak up, to be honest.
Hi, Emily.
Okay, it's interesting that there's Liquid Death right here with the logo facing forward. That's interesting.
At MrBeast, can you tell me how long you've been working there?
I've been working there for shortly over a year as of like 4 days ago. I'm the ideation strategist right now, ideation generator.
I don't know what that is.
Generator, coordinator, so that's my official title.
If I remember correctly, that is also where Dawson worked, or for the internet, Dogpack404 worked, So he worked closely together with you.
Yeah, it was me and him in the department for about 2 weeks. It was.
And we all know that these people are going to be very biased for MrBeast because they actively work for him. We all know they're going to be very biased. That doesn't mean that what they're saying is false, though.
Just the two of us, and Hoodie was overseeing us.
Everybody calls me Hoodie because all I did back in the day, 8 years ago, was run my own YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hoodie.
Okay.
I got to work all over in different departments. I've been in creative, I've been in ideation right now as far as thumbnail.
When you're saying ideation manager, I guess then you were the manager of Dawson or Dogpack404.
I was the manager of Dogpack404.
We got his manager. Bro, I really need to know if this dude's as cringe in person as he seems in his videos.
For the time being.
I've heard some stories of people feeling kind of off when he was hired. And I was wondering why
Who cares?
did you hire him?
I didn't hire that guy.
Oh,
no, I inherited that man.
Oh, okay, you didn't. Okay, how did that come to be then?
You want to know? So the real thing that actually happened was he applied to Beast while I was still the creative manager.
Okay.
He applied to Beast twice, and I saw his interview and went, interesting. He's got an analytical brain.
Yeah.
That's not creative. Like what he's talking about just won't fit what we're trying to do with our videos. So I turned him down the first time.
Okay.
Okay.
Then he applies a second time a couple months later.
To ideation, I guess.
Still the creative.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, nah.
So the creative part was bad because in marketing, there's the numbers in the knowing stuff, and then there's the are you actually good at making stuff, which is two totally different things.
This guy still like he's got like an interesting mind, but I don't know. I think he'd probably fit somewhere else in like a different department or a different channel. Who knows? He's clearly smart, but nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. A void opened up, something random happened. He spawned in on the channel, just randomly in ideation. I got summoned into a room and got told by our leaders, they're like, hey, there's a gap in ideation and thumbnail. I need somebody to go in there and help. Can you be that guy? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go in.
Okay.
And I went in, and that's the first time I met Dawson.
So he was working in thumbnails then.
Dawson sent me a screenshot of messages he had between you and him. Can you just verify that these are real? These are...
Yes,
Yeah, okay,
those
so
messages are between me and Dawson.
Yo, let's come prepared to the set with a deck tomorrow just in case Jimmy wants you to pitch any ideas to him. So we should meet in the office in the morning and get it set up. That way you can be prepared just in case and make a good impression. Okay, so Emily's like, hey, have something prepared just in case MrBeast wants to test your brain. He says, agreed. I was set an hour ago, met with Tyler's PA Sam and pitched to Nolan. Hoodie never showed up. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well, I guess we probably won't have to go to set tomorrow then. Regardless, it'd be good to get a deck set up. A deck is like basically get ideas for videos, and I'm happy to help. He says, I'm down to set tomorrow. Okay, cool. So she tried to help him out. She's like, hey, have stuff prepared. He's like, okay, that's a good idea.
Dawson.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Can you tell me a bit about your relationship with Dawson during both of you guys working there? Was there something that felt off?
Yeah.
Who cares about feelings, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, me and Dawson were cordial. Like,
I don't believe in
tried to keep
feelings.
it professional. I think he tried his best to keep it professional, but I will say it was a little uncomfortable with just me and him in the office. He seemed pretty disinterested in making genuine connections with people at the company. He gave weird vibes for
Yeah, he's probably autistic. You can't hold that against him, but I think Dawson's autistic as heck.
sure. And I felt like very uncomfortable working in the office with him. He didn't seem
We're talking
to work
about
too well with
feelings.
others.
Okay.
It seemed like he had no respect for Hoodie. He didn't take any of Hoodie's advice. It seemed like he didn't think he knew what Hoodie was doing. But yeah, Dawson definitely did not like Hoodie.
Can I give you guys some advice? Being the most intelligent person in the room is not an advantage. There's a point when you have a job, especially creative like this, where it's like, okay, let's say my IQ is 120, right? Then you have an advantage over other people. You kind of understand stuff. But then the difference between 100 to 120 and then 120 to 140, there's diminishing returns. It doesn't help you that much. So if you're already kind of smart, then it doesn't really help to be more smart. What actually matters is your EQ. If you can actually get along with people and interpret what they mean and smile, that actually is more of an advantage. So everyone's saying he's smart but weird. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, did not like Hoodie, did not show him any respect, even though he was his superior and he was trying to train him into being a better ideation strategist.
So there was a leaked document, about like work culture, and there was a line in there. No doesn't mean no, and it had.
What? No doesn't mean no. When dealing with outside misprotections, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside, you can call the local Dollar Tree and the person always answers, no, you can't film in here. That doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans. Okay, so it's like basically sales. He's talking about a sales technique. He's not talking about anything creepy. Okay.
Has a pretty negative connotation. And I was wondering,
it's a sales technique.
You know, you as a woman working at Beast, what was your reaction when reading that no doesn't mean no thing? And
so I actually wrote that part. Like,
Right.
That's why it's funny. Yeah, because I actually wrote this thing with Jimmy. Doing this, the whole reason why this thing exists in the first place is because we are growing so fast people-wise. It's like, okay, how do we give them artificial Jimmy time? Like, how do we...
It's weird that people would purposely take a title out of context and say, oh, if you pretend that we're talking about like sex, then it's creepy. Well, but you're not talking about sex. It's a sales technique. That's kind of just a weird mindset to have, in my opinion.
Teach them what CTR is. Teach them what 1 out of 10 is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you say, okay, this is how we think about creative. This is how what it takes to be successful here. You know, based off of the hard things we got to do. That's the intent behind the document, right? No doesn't mean no is wildly taken out of context, I think, in this situation, because in the way that we mean it, it's a sales tactic. It's like, again, like I mentioned, like you call a crane operator and go, hey man, I need you to drop a jet from your crane. And they're like, huh? No, I can't do that, right? And so for us, it's more like, well, why can't you do that? And they're like, oh, well, I don't have the manpower to do this. And it's like, okay, well, how do we help you get past that, right? Can we help get you more labor? Is it like that's what it means, because like we wouldn't have a company if we stopped at no at face value, right? Because if everybody that told us no, we couldn't do some of the crazy things that we've done. In no sense of the word, in the context means like as a female, if somebody comes up to me and says an improper comment, like.
So Dogpack pretended or acted like the no doesn't mean no. He pretended that was in a creepy sense when it was literally written by a woman.
They keep trying, like not at all.
Okay,
you know
because that was kind of concerning, I guess. But
not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
Like in any sense of the word, it's like
he doxed Kara. It says on the bottom, doxed in Dogpack's video.
It's a sales tactic. It's been around long before like we put it down on paper.
The truth of the matter is we were 4.5 weeks out of that video and we didn't have a hole or a train. And I don't know if you know anything about digging dirt, but it takes a long time to dig a hole that deep. And the location we ended up shooting it at happens to be a close personal friend of mine, and just happened to have a 50-foot deep quarry that was already dug. And the creative behind the video was that it was an 80-foot hole. So I had to get it dug another 30 feet in 4 weeks, which that much limestone is a lot to do. So we hired a massive excavating team to come out and dig the other 30 feet out. And then the reason that the hole is CG'd in the video is because of safety, right? We needed to create a back wall that the train wouldn't crash into and potentially kill people. So the hole is a little bit bigger than the video that we put lifts and cameras on that were far enough away that the train wouldn't hit them and no one would die, right? So it was all a safety concern. It was not about faking a hole.
Yeah, he said the pit was CGI'd, but it wasn't. That was just a lie.
And I made that joke. It's a war crime. I didn't.
So the guy who said it admitted it was a joke. And that was a huge part of the video. The whole second video was about it being a war crime. That was the whole central point of the video, was how poorly he was treated. And it was just someone who made a joke.
I think it was going to turn into a bunch of thumbnails and titles on YouTube, but it was serious. I mean, it was obviously a joke, and it was definitely framed a little more maliciously in the video.
They didn't insinuate it as a joke in the video. They didn't show like the war crime, like definition of war crimes while it's being said. Which can you talk a bit about, like, since you were friends with Jake Weddle, did he talk about it afterwards, or do you know like how it came to be that he had such a rough time in that challenge? in that isolation challenge?
Again, I didn't work on the video, so all I can do is I can kind of speculate. So I'll answer you by saying the process we normally go through when we cast. We usually find someone who we think is going to be good for a video, and we usually work with them leading up to the video, letting them know not exactly the challenges that we're going to be doing, but round about the level of difficulty that the challenges are going to be.
Yeah, okay, so you warned the guy.
And then we kind of lay out the challenge, right? We'd never really had that issue up to that point, and we haven't ever had that issue since that point. You know, we've even we've done videos like the Trap Together video that had really, really similar aspects to the video Jake was in, and they had
yeah, it's a survivor video. You're doing something that takes a lot of endurance, and it's obviously going to be mentally hard. And then you're complaining about it being mentally hard when you're allowed to quit.
Positive experience after the fact. I mean, it was a tough challenge for them, but they released these videos after the fact. Now, that doesn't take away the way that Jake felt in that video, and I would never do that. You know, I saw the guy; he was not doing so hot. You know, and I don't know what happened in there specifically to make that happen. I don't, you know, I know Jake. He's not lying when he said he had a bad time. You know, say I don't.
Yeah, because like part of the things that they were like, oh, they told me that there'd be an ice cream machine on the wall, but then the ice cream machine, all the ice cream was bad after like 2 days, so I couldn't use the ice cream machine anymore. So I get like why he'd be annoyed by that stuff.
I don't want to say that it was 100% Jake is the reason that challenge didn't turn out the way that it was supposed to turn out. Some people approach challenges just completely different, and that's the thing is, my brain tells me that if other people have gone through similar challenges and they've turned out okay, then maybe it's not the challenge.
So I heard a rumor circulating that Dawson told you that your food was trash. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, let's talk about
it. Yeah, I mean, it was the first time I actually met him. It was kind of after his tour, you know, of our studio and such, and he actually came over, you know, tried some of the food that we had in the fridge, and then proceeded to tell me it tasted like shit, and that he wishes that we would cater more frequently.
Wow.
Damn.
Because, yeah, which is fairly interesting because I'm not sure if I had introduced myself or maybe he just felt comfortable enough to tell me the food tasted like shit.
Dude, this Dawson guy sounds like he is not fun to work with. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it went, my first interaction with him. And then other than that, I really had no other interaction or wanting to have any other interaction with him after that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that, but I disagree. I think your food is great.
Thank you so much. I mean,
recently there was this video that started getting some traction. One of the clinics where some of the eye surgeries were happening and helping 1,000 people see for the first time. And they claimed that the MrBeast company hadn't paid for any of the surgeries yet. Can you talk a bit about that?
Essentially,
that's right. MrBeast had a video. I'm going to pay for 100 people's eye surgery, and then Dawson claimed that MrBeast never paid for the 100 people's eye surgery. So let's talk about this.
Really, when we did that video, we worked with a third party, and that third party worked with a bunch of different organizations all around the world because we were trying to spread it as far as we could, multiple countries.
Okay.
So we had one center third party that we were working with, and they kind of worked with all these. One of those organizations somewhere around the world didn't receive the compensation, which we only worked with the third party. We paid them for 1,800 surgeries. Oh,
okay. So they gave money to the third party, and one of the third party messed up on one instance. So I wonder what happened.
1,800, so not 1,000.
Yeah. We kept going after 1,000. We just worked with them. And we actually, we did more than 1,000, but the title of 1,000 sounds a lot better. So we just says 1,000 and it looks good.
Yeah.
So we worked with that third party, and that third party, I don't know what communication error happened between them and the other organization, but some way or another that organization ended up not being funded properly.
Okay, stuff happens.
And then when it came across our desk that the missing loop happened, we just went around the third party we originally worked with to compensate them.
Yeah. So
and
they just compensated them directly then.
Out a video since talking about it.
We're doing a video where
okay, so that's another Dogpack claimed MrBeast didn't pay for the eye surgeries.
There are people who will not walk or will have to delay in them walking because of the videos that Dogpack made.
That was
unironically, like I was getting pitched ideas like Jimmy trying every drug in existence.
That was also like a serious idea that he had.
Yeah,
joke.
It again goes back to like the no, I'm joking. Because if I pitch you an idea of like Jimmy tries every drug and you're like, that's sick, I'm like, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, but if I would go like, that's kind of weird.
I'd be like, whoa,
it's a joke.
Whoa, you're taking that weird. I was just putting that in as a joke. Like, that's crazy.
How in depth he went on like how viewer psychology works. So he obviously knows how like every part of a video can manipulate the viewer in some way or form. And you can see that both by that video he made to apply at the MrBeast channel, but also you can see that just in the videos he
manipulation.
made. Yeah, you know, the MrBeast, the fraud videos and stuff. He accuses the MrBeast company of really trying to psychologically target children and like manipulate children.
You're targeting children because they're your target audience. That's a normal thing. That's not weird. Anybody selling toys is targeting and manipulating children because you're using a weak, watered down version of the word manipulated.
Is there any truth to that in the ideation team? And like, did he try to bring his like skills of a viewer psychology into ideation? Did he try to do that?
Yes to that. Yes to trying to bring his skills of viewer psychology into ideation, and also trying to like bleed it over to creative. Yeah. So that way we could figure out like, okay, well, you know, psychologically a near miss is going to be the craziest thing that we could do here. We should do that, which he has on his like Miro boards, where it's like the exact things that he calls Jimmy out for. If he was here for longer than a month, he would know that we were actively working at aging up our content, because that was something that we were like very cognizant of, is, hey, we should make our content something that is appealing and enjoyable to like people who are older. Like, who are the people that aren't watching our videos? Probably 30 to 40 to 50 to even 60-year-olds.
The old MrBeast videos, if you watch, you can't go 3 seconds without a transition. Now you can. They are allowing more breathing room and stuff like that. But that doesn't mean they're doing a good job of it. Their target audience primarily is still younger people, although they are growing up and getting older at the same time.
How do we make our videos enjoyable for those guys? So we're hitting a general audience. Now you could argue, yeah, a general audience. I mean, we need to make a video that like a 10-year-old and a 90-year-old can understand, which is the same for the challenges that we have to do in videos like that anyways. When we do a video like ages 1 to 100, fight for blah, 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 we have to make a challenge so simple to understand and easy to process that a literal 1-year-old and a 99 to 100-year-old can understand. Like, we need to keep that in mind. That's just generalizing.
It's MrBeast evil.
I went all the way from America and back, and all I gotta show for it is this ugly plushie and this fart gun from Minions.
Solid purchase, bro. Nice.
And the interviews I held, by the way, which did clarify a lot. I think I personally...
Bro, everything on the left side here, everything on the left side is false.
Finally realized how big of a company and how many people actually work at MrBeast. It's not like a small 10 people thing as it was a few years ago. And I'm glad that the interviews clarified Jake Weddle's experience and didn't end up invalidating his personal perspective, but did add some context that it might have not been the challenge that was terrible, but he himself wasn't mentally in the best state in life at that point. But there's one more thing I have to clarify for everyone, and that is the illegal lottery number 1.
Okay,
which,
please.
On my flight back, I finally found some proof that the first illegal lottery was in fact illegal. There was no purchase necessary in the description, no mention of it at all. Yeah, it was illegal. And personally, Jimmy has to own up for it. Either by donating the amount of profit he made in that live stream to a charity, or by refunding everyone who bought a shirt in that stream, but that's like so many years ago, so I don't know if that's a possibility.
I feel like he left this one for last so that it looks like he's more neutral.
Or do a giveaway live stream where everything is given away for free, with no merch sales attached. However, I do also want to note that most YouTubers, including me, didn't know that you could do something like an illegal lottery.
That doesn't mean anything. Just ignorance of the law isn't an excuse, bro.
So since only the first one was illegal, I feel like it might have been a mistake. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. Just as the question if MrBeast is evil isn't for me to say, but that is again for you, the viewer, to decide. Because there is some shit that he should be criticized for and has to be looked into. I know CoffeeZilla is doing an investigation into his crypto stuff, and once that releases, I hope that clarifies some things.
It did not really.
Because those are some serious allegations. And that wasn't of like stupid adolescent Jimmy, 19 years old, and hiring someone without doing background checks. That was like 3 years ago, way more recent, that he should be held accountable for if he did commit crimes with crypto. So yeah, go check CoffeeZilla's video on that once it releases. I couldn't really investigate the crypto stuff because I don't know shit about crypto, and I didn't want to be hypocritical like Dogpack and talk about shit I don't know anything about. Because that's basically what Dawson has been doing for the past few months. I feel like Jimmy has to become way more transparent because that is how he got in all this trouble in the first place. They really have to start a MrBeast behind the scenes channel to upload behind the scenes footage there. And
that's not a bad idea, and that channel would take off also. And if you're already doing stuff, just hiring a third party entirely, like one camera guy, one editor, Gary V style, to do all their behind the scenes stuff, that would be amazing. And that would have an older audience, because that would people who make YouTube videos and people who market would be interested in that kind of vlog style behind the scenes stuff.
stop with the deceptive shit. When you do a sponsor read, don't make the yellow bar go real fast at the start to make the viewer believe that, you know, oh, this advertisement isn't gonna take long, I won't skip over it. But then at the end of it, make the visual timer suddenly run way slower. That's not just deceptive, I think that's pretty disrespectful towards your audience. And
is it disrespectful? Are you disrespected when a line moves slow? Do you get disrespected by that?
I know that there are still questions that you guys probably have with stuff that I just couldn't address because there is so much, but I can forward you to some other people who have talked about stuff that I might have forgotten in this video. You know, if you want to know some more about Beast Games and the Beast Games lawsuit, definitely check out Stucky's channel. He did a great deep dive on that, and I made many other videos on the whole Dogpack MrBeast situation. And again, once CoffeeZilla's investigation on the crypto stuff is out there, I highly recommend you to go watch that, because that'll clarify a lot of stuff that I don't know anything about. Because I trust those investigative creators 10,000 times more than I do Dawson. Instead of having competent people investigate serious accusations, he's just been throwing baseless shit at the wall. And
CoffeeZilla's video was great, and he's a real journalist. That guy doesn't make mistakes like Dogpack literally is not a journalist at all. He just straight up has lied about a lot of stuff. And we're going to go over all of it at the end.
Hoping some stuff sticks with the audience. He is incompetent, petty, a liar, deceptive, and after all this, I just know that he is a disgruntled employee. I've been investigating this for like the past 3 months, and I really hope that I was able to answer some questions you guys had before watching this video.
Thank
also,
you, bro.
Jimmy, stop the collabs with Logan Paul. If you want to see some more of my interviews or some extra additional context that I have but wasn't able to put in this video, let me know in the comments below. I might talk about it on my socials, so make sure to check those out in the description, as well as maybe post some stuff on my second channel, so make sure to check that out as well. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for joining my cereal bowl so I can absorb all of your fibers and nutrients. And I hope that the MrBeast drama is finally over now, because at this point
you have a booger in your nose.
I'm sick and tired of it.
No, I like that ending. It just ended. I'm starting to think Dogpack404 might not even be his real name. When Dogpack came out with these videos, if you criticize them in any way, everybody shit on you, and everybody said, oh, you are just supporting MrBeast and he's the worst person ever. You are supporting children getting diabetes. Like, it was crazy. People were actually saying this stuff. So this is the problem with Dogpack. Number one, he only worked there for 3 weeks. He acted like he was super credible when he didn't really have that much information at all from the jump. He recorded gossip without permission and then posted it as fact, hurting the people he recorded. That's a problem. He said MrBeast hired a sex offender who wears a mask. The dude didn't work for MrBeast for years, and he never wore a mask in many videos. So he literally lied, saying he always wears a mask. Why do you think it is, when he's straight up not wearing a mask? AI-generated conversations. People using AI-generated conversations just for views, and then saying, oh, it's AI-generated later, but you already got the people clicking on it from that. Lied about lottery descriptions not being included in disclaimers. They straight up were included in most of the lotteries. So he just straight up lied again. Dogpack said that MrBeast never sent free dog food to a winner of something on purpose, but they did send the email and it was sent to spam and then they corrected it. Okay, so that was another lie by Dogpack. Let's keep going. Literally lied about sugar content Feastables. He was comparing a small bar to a large bar and then said, well, the large Feastables has more chocolate than the small Hershey's, so it must be terrible. So that was straight up lying. Small claims like, hey, this pit is CGI. It wasn't a fake pit. He said cars were digitally lifted, but they literally were not digitally lifted. It was just a straight up another lie that he said. Dogpack said he owned child blank and reverse image searched it. Then he realized, oh, that's illegal, so he deleted the tweet. Then he lied about never saying it, and then it turned out to not even be that. So he uses, hey, I said allegedly, so you can't call me out, but he actually doesn't use that term that much. He lied about an anime to make it seem pedo-ish, to prove MrBeast knew Ava was pedo-ish, but the anime is actually wholesome. Okay. He lied about an old man winking being CGI. The old man literally said, hey, I did wink. Why are you lying about this? So there's another lie. He claimed the old man didn't hear something in the challenge. The old man said he did hear that. So he just straight up lied again about a challenge for some reason. Again, he only worked there 3 weeks. He says random subs never win. He literally said the word never. A random sub did win $1 million. Dogpack even showed the clip. So Dogpack knew that he lied when he said that. It was in the same damn video. In that video, Dogpack purposely clipped out the person saying MrBeast did help me. He showed what the guy said before and after, but purposely clipped out the guy who said MrBeast helped me to make it seem like MrBeast did not help him. A winner of a challenge said he'd spend money on his friends. Dogpack muted that part and then said, wow, you really need the money. But the guy said he was going to give it to his friends, but Dogpack purposely muted that part. Again, he falsely accused a dude of domestic violence, which is why he only has 2 videos down here and not 3. He only has 2 and not 3 because he had to take the video down. And that video got, what, 3 million views? So to 3 million people, he said, hey, this guy abused his family. He's like, oh, why did they take off child slavery on their website? Because they expanded it to include more than just child slavery. Dogpack pleaded to keep working for MrBeast. After saying MrBeast is so unethical, he pleaded to keep his job. So that's a little weird, right? If MrBeast is so terrible, why did you plead to keep your job? That's just a little side note. He claimed people didn't get refunds for the rocket fail, but they did get their refund. Then Dogpack said, why not try the rocket thing again? Knowing they would do it again, and he even linked to an article saying they're going to try again. Use texts as foundation of proof. The texts were often just straight up wrong. So it's weird to use texts as proof and then just say the word allegedly. That's still not okay. And you're accusing people of domestic violence. And you're using texts as proof for some of this. It's a little weird, right? That's just bad journalism. CoffeeZilla doesn't do stuff like that. He's like, why are employees competing in these challenges? But that was due to COVID. That was already public knowledge. And everybody won money in that video. You know, so even if you lost to an employee, you still won the money. That was the big twist at the end. He said the timer was added in post, yet he sent a pic showing that the timer was actually there. So that's just a straight up another lie by him. He said MrBeast canceled a video that shirt buyers would compete in. You know, one of the sweepstakes is, hey, if you buy this shirt, you might compete in a video. He said MrBeast canceled the video, but it was due to COVID. What did he want him to do? And then the people who won invitations were still flown out, had good food, and still won $10,000. They just didn't compete in the video. And then he even brought them out again. COVID struck again, and MrBeast gave them money again. So if that's not disingenuous, bro, what is? What else? He says, I don't think this is legal when it is legal. One Google search would prove it's legal. That was for one of the lotteries. So it's just weird that he wouldn't do one Google search before doing all this effort for a video. He lied again about a lottery being illegal. It's a big surprise there. What else? Dogpack claimed MrBeast didn't pay for the eye surgeries. There was a third-party miscommunication, but MrBeast bypassed that and paid the people anyway. He conveniently left that part out. And because of this, it's harder to make videos where it's like, hey, I cured people of not being able to walk, because people are backing out because of the lies Dogpack made. So that's a little weird, man. Like, my God, dude, a terrible journalist here. Like, he's literally, there's proof he's lying on purpose. If you question Dogpack at all 4 weeks ago, you would have been shit on. Your video would have been reported for like hate speech and stuff like that. It's crazy. I got a video reported for hate speech for something unrelated, but people report you because they're like, oh, you must be defending MrBeast. They don't get that. Hey, no, this guy can actually still be a bad guy, whether or not what MrBeast did is true. So have some intelligence, man. If you want to watch more opinions on MrBeast, click these videos here. And if you watch this far, I want to thank you guys because you are the hero. You're the reason why my channel is going to get monetized. Okay, bye now, bye. Sub, bye.